Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Pointless Discourse with myself, Hoppocalypse and DPayne.
Hey, that's hello in Swedish.
um, Here where we talk about topics voted on by the community and we ramble about our most and least favorites. This week, the Twitter poll came in and it's video game themes.
Yes,
But before we jump in, announcements?
yes. Alrighty. So today is a Monday that this 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 audio experience comes out, and yeah, it's also day 2 out of the 7-day charity stream that we're both part of. So
Oh,
right
is
now.
Monday day 2? I thought Monday was day 1.
No, it starts on Sunday. I make it the whole week because I know that J2 streams on Sunday.
Ah, okay.
So it goes Sunday to Saturday. So yeah, actually, if you guys want to, in the link in the show notes, or the notes, I don't know, the description, whatever you want to call it, you can click that and go there and donate to our charity group. Our charity group is called We Are One. I don't think we ever said that. If you guys didn't know, Hop and I didn't name that. We left that to other people because we all have different gifts. And if you guys heard or didn't know how this name was made for Pointless Discourse, that was more of a struggle than deciding, yes, let's make a podcast, or even what the podcast should be. I think we had more issues trying to find out what to name it
Than anything
so
else, yeah.
But fortunately, we have people who are skilled in naming things. And so actually the same person who named the charity event this year.
Mm-hmm.
We have one person that is very good at naming things. But yeah, the charity event this year is called, as soon as I bring it up and search through all the things to find it, right there is NAACP Empowerment campaign. Esh is kind of like the word and the theme for it all, which if you guys don't know anything about the NCAA, as I click more things to find where it was posted in general. Oh, I just joined the voice. Get out of there. No. That's that button. It's there. Ha. Esh, which means to make bigger, and bigger to, like he was saying, to imply by helping with some funds to help people. And it also cleverly works with their core values of the NAACP, which is education, criminal justice, healthcare, and economic development. And so that is the theme: to make bigger, to help out people. And the link is in there. We know that we mentioned a few well, at least the things that Hop and I will be doing together if when we hit the dono milestones. So I don't know, Hop, do you want to mention them real quick? Or
The shared ones that we have?
yeah, the shared ones.
Yeah, so I forget the values to them because
We had the $600 one.
okay, I know what they are, but
Yes, that's the first one.
okay, and that's the
Live show.
yeah, okay, because I was in my head, I was like, DP wanted one to happen more than the other, so I want to say that's the cheaper one.
I think they're both gonna happen. I have confidence
We
that
have
they're
faith in
all
our
gonna happen.
communities. Yeah, so at 600, um, we will participate in. We've joked about what we wanted to do for live shows, as in like if conventions can actually happen again. But we decided to plan out a way for us to do a live streamed podcast episode in which we will be tasting and ranking cursed sodas. What makes them cursed, you may ask? DPayne got them in the mail, and their flavors range from pies and cakes to. I don't know. I hate all of them. Which one's the one that you're dreading the most? Did you say it was carrot cake?
And I don't even think I like real carrot cake.
Yeah, some of the like
There's birthday cake. That doesn't even sound great.
it's just gonna be so sweet. But yeah, so we'll be rating those in an episode, and then for the $800 one, since I am me, and I love playing dating sims and romancing and things. And then there's DPayne, who enjoys doing voices but does not care for any of the romance stuff in games.
I did romance options in a game, I told you, and I immediately caused. I, I didn't realize I was in a relationship with one of them after one date, and then immediately started a chain reaction of said girlfriend cheating and dumping me in the middle of the street.
Beautiful. I love it. Yes. We will combine all those talents into a game of Monster Prom on stream. We may or may not include some other people in that to help us do voices and have fun with that. But yeah, so that would be the $800 one. And then we both have individual different goals and little things we'll do based on your donations while we're streaming. And if you ever want to find more information on that, you can likely find it. I'll have it in my Discord once I actually organize my thoughts and put it onto something that's readable.
Yeah, and mine's in my Discord already, and it's on social media. Like it'll be either on our Twitters or or Discords, or most likely mentioned multiple times as we stream next week. And ooh, cuckoo clock. I don't know if oh, it is 3. uh,
Useful, huh?
yeah. If I hear that if I hear that go off 2 more times, but yeah, that like our goal, like everyone that people who are listening, you guys might be thinking, wow, that is really expensive. Well, last year, without really a whole lot of prompting or anything, we did this with this group, and we just shot for 500, and you guys just blasted through that for for 800 and something dollars. And so this year is like, you know what? I bet we can hit 1,000. And so that is our goal. I'm not going to make any promises that if we hit over 1,000, if we will, more goals will be added. But that will just have to be something that you guys will just have to like give and find out. Like, and I know that, that the people that are also in part of this, will also be pitching in and stuff. And we're just really happy to help people with this. So, so yeah, once again, that is literally already in this week. And if anyone is listening to this after the 27th of February, it's over. So click on the next podcast and you'll probably hear us kind of chat about where we're at. And then listen to the podcast after that one where we know our final results, because this gets recorded on Saturdays.
Yeah. But in either case, whether or not you're able to participate while we're doing the charity event live, feel free to still, contribute and donate to causes you believe in. In this one in particular, we're doing the NAACP.
Mm-hmm. And just another thing that I always like to just mention to people that they're just like, well, I don't have any money to give because of various reasons of age, situations, blah blah blah. And it's like, yeah, no, we totally understand that. And there's tons of ways if you want to help, but you just don't have the money. There are ways where it's just like, honestly, just sharing the campaign on social media, just coming in and just either lurking or talking in our chats of everyone who is part of the teams, that helps. Just like, it's just one of those things, like the more eyes that are on there, the more potential we have to reach, like to have potentially more people to come in to help out. And so yeah, there's plenty of ways to help, even if you don't have the financial means to do so. And honestly, probably one of the biggest ones is just sharing it on social media and telling your friends and all that stuff.
Yep, and at the very least, even if the people you share it with don't directly donate, maybe they learn a little bit more about the cause, which is sometimes more than enough to help out.
Yeah, yeah, because we definitely want to help people, and it's like it'd be amazing if we hit our goal. But if we're able just to help people just to realize and think more about these situations, and helping people like outside of their normal circle, then I don't know, that's a win in our book. And if we hit the goals, like that, honestly, it just creates more work for us. But like, we'll still be
we'll be glad to
we'll definitely be glad to do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Yeah, because last year's campaign, for anyone that wasn't familiar with this last year, it went to write love on our arms to
Mhm.
help, just good
Mental health,
causes.
yeah.
Good causes.
Yeah. And so yeah. But yeah, we're definitely enjoying that. And yeah, our group was it's just really neat. Like it's not like we ignore each other like throughout the rest of the year. Like just looking at the group now, like most of them, like I'll go into their streams and talk to them, and I think Hop actually co-streams with everybody except maybe one person in this group.
All right, I have done content
Yes.
with a large portion of the group.
Actually, I have too. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh yeah, some of them I haven't done as much, but yes, I have done content with the majority with these people. So,
Yeah. No, yeah, we're
uh,
all friends. And originally, it may seem that like we call it We Are One. Originally, it was a mix of streamers between Mixer and Twitch, where we were across platforms. So it was to, also show solidarity in that you can. We're all people working towards a better cause, no matter where you are focusing your energy.
mhm. and and still, now that most of us are on Twitch, um,
We just want to carry that
then
energy forward. Yeah.
yes, the energy and the image and the meaning behind that is still the same as you. I don't know if you look at us, like we're we're all coming together like the Musketeers. I really hope the Musketeers didn't do anything super tragic because it feels like every time they make a data response like that, people are like, well, did you know? No, shut up. Tell me later. um, so yeah, that is the big announcement that we definitely wanted to get up front. And yeah, we're just really excited for it. I know that the group is also really excited for it. Like there's just guys that don't type too much in there and don't really communicate a lot, but they're all like, "Yeah, let's go." So we're excited for that. Um, Now, time for a side shift to normal, just pointless discourse announcements. We got a little comment on our tweet bird thing, um, which from former guest the Kathy feed. If you guys don't know, she was on the TFT set 4, which was episode 38. I didn't know that off the top of my head. I opened up the folder that I numbered them all in.
No, that's fair. Our timelines have been a little.
Especially around that time
Yeah.
section.
I think we filmed
Um,
3 episodes in 2 weeks, and we were just like, wait, which one
where,
is this one?
yeah, and then one of them still hasn't been released. So, um, okay, I need to get off the charity Discord because now people are typing in there and I'm distracted. Um, but yes, the Kathy feed, definitely, definitely friend of the podcast and a friend of ours, and just a real fun person. She has wrote this EP of Pointless Disco, is one of my favorites so far, and then tagged the both of us in there and shared a screenshot of her phone with her actually, like I want to say 6/8 through the episode. I don't
Three
know. I'm just
fourths.
going 3/4. I don't know. It looks a little bit farther than 3/4, but she has made it through a substantial amount, which we were like, oh, no one's actually showed us time codes. So, um, and especially of the one that came out that week.
Yeah,
So,
it was a very recent
yeah.
release
So
of
we're
it.
like, I think we were both like, whoa, someone listens.
Well, we also have people in our community that come into stream and like they make references, and we're like, "What is that a reference to?" And it's like you and
Oh
your own
yes.
podcast, and we're like, "All
We don't
right,
listen to that.
oh yeah, that is me, huh?"
Oh yeah. Oh, there was the big Skyrim.
Yeah,
That was the
Skyrim for
one.
you.
And then the conversation went on a little bit more of how she agrees about okra. So if you want to know what we said about okra and how the Kathy feed also agrees about okra, give that a listen. It was quite literally the last episode. And if you also want to get your comment written, I hope you wrote it already, read on the podcast if it's appropriate. Just send us a tweet at Pointless Disco on the Twitters, twitter.com/pointlessdisco, or 5-star review. on iTunes or wherever you're listening to it on. We don't, for some reason we can't see them. We just know there's numbers and stuff. We have one review, and if there's words, we can't see them. So, um, yeah, if you don't mind, take a screenshot and send it to us, because that way we'll definitely read it.
Yep. And as we've promised in previous episodes, whenever we hit 10 ratings reviews, we'll plan out a live streamed episode of Pointless Discourse.
Now I'm gonna say this right now, because if it if it combines with when we do the Cursed Soda live stream, that won't count. They're two separate things.
Mm-hmm. Because we've been
So,
saying this much before we had plans of this, the charity goal. Yeah.
yeah. Also, guys, one last thing about the Cursed Soda live stream. I know that Hop and I, we have like hinted like, yeah, we would like to do, like, if we grow, and we would love to do like a live show at a convention. The Cursed Soda live stream would probably be a taste of what that would look like, based off of conversations. So you're like, what would a live episode of Pointless Discourse be? It might look like this, except we're not over the internet. So
Yeah, we have ourselves a little list of like, imagine if we did this in front of a crowd of people.
yeah, it'll be interesting. I can already picture it now of if Strider sat and watched, just like, why are you doing this?
I'm pretty sure most people would be like, why are they doing this?
Is this a DPayne idea? No, I'm pretty sure this one was actually from Hop. But yeah, that is the general announcements. And yeah, this is when Hop tells us about dice.
Yes. So, like I mentioned before, on Twitter, we put up a poll for you guys to vote on community on what we should discuss in the actual episode. This week, it video game themes beat out Disney villains. I think that was the second option. Yeah. So now what we do, since that one, now we roll dice to see what order we actually talk about the topic in. And this week we're not doing most and least favorites like we typically do. I think we agreed that we had trouble thinking of game themes that we just automatically hate. So we went with kind of gathering a list of our top 3 with a couple of runner-ups that we'll see if we have time to mention.
Mm-hmm.
So yep. So now we roll the dice. We roll dice to see who goes first in the conversation, much like initiative order in tabletop role-playing games like D&D, Pathfinder, etc. And higher number wins.
Let's just say you're going to have to roll real bad.
I rolled an 8.
I rolled a 2.
Wow. So you mean I would have had to roll the worst I could have.
Or if it's Call of Cthulhu or any of the systems based off that, it's the best. I like Delta Green's rolling system. I'm realizing I'm liking our like tabletop RPGs where it's percentage, and like Call of Cthulhu and Delta Green both do this, where it's like you have your number and it's like a 1 to 100, and the higher stat you can get in there, it's just like you can have an 80 in like strength. And so you have to roll under 80 to succeed it. But let's just say, like, say I have a 70 strength and Hop, you have like a 50 strength, and we both like are doing like whatever. Like, I'll just throw out a fake scenario, like we're arm wrestling.
Okay.
So we're doing that. We both roll our strength and say I get under my strength by like if I forgot what the number I said. I think it was like 60. We'll just say it now. I roll like a 30 something. Okay, I succeeded, but you rolled a like 40 or 48 or something around there, which you also succeeded. But since you are closer to your number, you win.
Okay.
So it's just like, or it's like the high, like if we both succeed, the person who gets the higher number wins. And it's just like, I don't know. It's one of those things that I just think is really, it's a really neat rolling system that I like. The more I'm learning about, the more I like. Plus you get to roll more dice.
Yay, more dice.
But it's a system I would like to play at some point. Oh my goodness, your tweet came back up after I closed the notifications.
Yes. Lovely screenshots. But yeah. So then I
Yeah, so do
will.
we want to? Okay, just real quick refresher. We're just doing the top three, correct?
Yes, that's where we can focus our time on until we see where we have time. And also,
Okay.
um, to clarify for anyone who's like, wait, what about this song and that song? We try to stick to specifically like what's considered the theme song for a game
Hmm.
because we figured actual video game, like talking about the actual soundtracks or particular songs from soundtracks, could be a whole nother episode in itself. And also is a lot more to dig through and research. So,
Yeah. One of us had a way busier week this week, so we kept it simple. I guess like I did theme or title screen,
okay, that's fair.
but-
Because if
which
you look up like yeah menu, like if you look at the menu for a game, it's likely to be the theme. I would put them
yeah,
pretty much hand in
yeah,
hand.
they're mainly the same, except sometimes if the theme has words, normally it won't have words.
Yeah.
But like for example, um, the one that I was struggling with was um the Undertale one. I think it's Megomania.
Mm-hmm.
I really hope that's not on your list.
It is not.
Okay,
I
cool.
never finished
The
Undertale.
the reaction you were giving, I'm like, uh-oh. But Megalomania, which is like I think it's the Sans song, the song where you have to fight Sans. Sorry if that's a spoiler, but the game's been out for like forever and all that stuff. But and I think that is the theme for that, where it's like and it's just like and that's like the famous song from it. Um and so like that was one of the ones I'm like, huh, maybe, but that's when we clarified it. So which made it way better. Um and another quick thing before I hand the ball or the control of the cast in there. Yes, I had a hard time not singing my dumb theme songs in the middle of the podcast, not the podcast, but in the middle of the stream, because oh my goodness, I will get into it. But yeah, DPayne wanted to sing
DPayne always wants to sing.
sometimes,
Sometimes.
but go ahead.
Okay.
What is your number three?
So for my number three, I feel like I talk about this game series anytime we ever bring up video games, and I will never not stop bringing it up because it's one of my favorite games. I really like. So I realized when I was looking through, most of the video game themes and music I like tend to be not so professionally produced. Well, I guess that's not the
Mm-hmm.
word for it, but it's most of the time if I think of a song from a game, it's usually because it captures the essence of the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like there are a lot of games with fantastic soundtracks that I can just listen to. Like sometimes when we're playing D&D and we want battle music, we'll pull up the Witcher 3 soundtrack because it's just really good music. But it's just that's a thing though for me where I don't know the actual theme to Witcher 3. I just know it has a very epic soundtrack. So this one surprised me because I was looking through different games and I came up with my first two fairly easily. My runner up, it took me a little bit of research and then I realized, oh yeah, I can connect this with the game. But yeah, so I put as my third one kind of like the theme music for Mass Effect 2. And
Mm-hmm.
I kind of surprised myself because it's very much in that same vein as like The Witcher 3 where it's like it's really professionally produced. They put it together really well. But the thing for me is I really like the Mass Effect 2 one. Is listening to it again, I was like, this feels like the perfect sci-fi like way to draw me into the world of like sci-fi space angry commander shooter Mick angry face game.
I'm listening to it right now.
Mm-hmm.
I had to check my Audacity to make sure it wasn't
It wasn't
getting picked
capturing
up.
it. But you see, like at listening to it,
Yeah.
it has like a nice build up to it, and it's not. I don't know.
Ooh, that's a nice horn.
Yeah. Because
I,
I was in between. Oh, I'll wait to mention what other game I was kind of in between. But yeah, Mass Effect 2 I think takes my third place, and it's not to say that third place isn't like great. It's just the way that I think of video game theme music. I have to like if I think of the game and then think of its theme song, then I know that that game's theme song is like the one for me. And Mass
Mhm.
Effect 2, it took me a little bit to remember it, but once I actually listened to it again, I was brought back into playing the game for the first time. I was like, yeah, this is cozy. I like this.
Yeah, I'm I think I mentioned this to you, but or I don't remember if I mentioned it to you, but yes, the Mass Effect Legacy or Legendary Edition, the remaster or
That's
remake
yeah,
or
that's in the
yeah, I think it's coming out in May, or at least claiming to come out in May.
yeah, it's the current anticipated release date is the weekend of my birthday, I believe, right before.
I I remember you mentioning that, and I was like, yeah, I don't know if she if she wants that repeated or not. So, but now that you said it, it's okay. Um, but yeah, I was like, yeah, no, I definitely think I'm going to make sure that the schedule is cleared out. So that's going to be my single player series run thing.
hmm
Because I've only played like a little bit of it, of the first one, and I haven't touched the other two because I'm like, I don't, I got to the jellyfish thing.
The
I like
Hanar.
the yeah, I like them because they were funny. But yeah, it'll be. I am definitely looking forward to play them so I can see how everyone else. Well, as I've heard many times, the ending. Ugh. But but no, I definitely just listened to that song, and it's just like, you know what, a good sci-fi theme needs a little bit of horn.
It does. Yeah, but you see what I mean, where it's not like it's weird because when I think of Mass Effect 2, I don't think of its theme song right off the bat, but listening to it, I'm just like, oh yeah, this is Mass Effect, like
Mhm.
encapsulated in a song.
I don't know anything about Mass Effect except you punch a reporter and you date people, but it's
And it's
just
sci-fi.
yeah, and it's sci-fi. That's those are the only three things I know about it. And but yeah, it's excuse me, it's no, I guess I don't know. I don't know if it encapsulates the feeling of it because I haven't really played it, but it's it does give me like those sci-fi vibes.
hmm
Or I'm just like I was listening to it, I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to shoot a laser gun
I feel this. I feel this now.
or a physical gun. I don't know. I can't remember if there's like
There's
bullet
different
guns
types.
because I'm thinking of another RPG, Starfinder, which is Pathfinder's like
Base.
sci-fi,
Yeah.
and they have kinetic weapons, which uses like physical ammunition or like swords, and then they have energy, which is laser and like elemental magic and stuff like that. So it's got like the two different tiers.
Mm.
So, but yeah, no, I what I heard of the song is I didn't listen to the whole thing because I would have just like them horns and just wouldn't have been like bopping and jiving in here and just like would not have been making any comments. But no, yeah, it's good. I don't really have a lot to say about
No, yeah, like, and
it.
that's basically where I'm at with it, where I just think it encapsulates. I guess for me, it matters just a lot that it feels like it fits the game. Because there's some games that they come out with trailers and they put a song to it, and they're good songs, but then you play the game and you're like, why did you? I don't know why you picked this to be the song that you introduced everybody to the game with.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your number three?
Hey, my number three is well, I actually streamed this game the end of last year, and I fell in love with it. Called Sayonara Wild Hearts, and the theme is called Sayonara Wild Hearts. So, um, and I think this game, like for anyone who hasn't played, it's an indie game where literally you are the Joker of the tarot cards. I think there's a Joker card. I don't know. I don't know a lot about tarot cards, but it's like um you pretty much go through and you have to like you have to do like different challenges, but it's a music rhythm game where like all the levels are synced up to a song and you have to go through by collecting gems and all this other stuff to like progress through there. It's really simple. Like I was able to do it without like um really having a lot of trouble progressing. But like as soon as you open up the game, like it starts off with like just the bit of the song where it's like and it's just like goes and it's like a pop punk, not punk, sorry, but like a pop kind of song, and it's just like you're like, okay, this is cool. And then it's just like, yeah, this is what the whole game's gonna be like. And I'm like, really? And like as soon as it's just I love it because it just is so it's cinematic, but also it's matching with the music, and the whole game is based around the music, like from the gameplay, the visuals, and everything.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know. I it's like one of those games I suggest people to check out if you. I'm not a big rhythm game fan, but it's just like the music is great. I actually have the vinyl. I
Wait,
don't.
didn't you say that you bought it before the vinyl before you had the game?
Yeah, I bought the vinyl before I had the game. I also don't have a record player. So, but one day I will have it. Um but yeah, it's definitely one of those things where it's the kind of what you're saying, like it I realize this is gonna be a really hard episode to describe it because it's like people can't like listen to the music
While we're yeah.
while we're talking to it. But it's just like, guys, you're gonna have oh man, if we make a YouTube playlist of just all the themes because they have to be on YouTube.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Oh man, and it would take a little bit of work, but hmm. If we make a YouTube playlist on our YouTube channel, now that I think about it, we don't have links to our YouTube channel anywhere.
Nice.
Hold on, is it on our is it on our Twitter?
I can't remember because I know it was like one of the we had trouble getting it set up, and it kind of we
Yeah.
don't
No,
focus much
it's not
energy
linked
on
to
it.
anywhere. That's probably why it doesn't get much. But anywho, we'll work on that. That'll be future stuff. Um, but yeah, we I don't know. That might be something fun to do if we do music episodes. More music stuff. But anyway, the what I was saying is that this whole theme and it's like here's the music you are going to be listening to. Prepare yourself because it's going to be a lot of like synth pop uh just the vocalist is just really really neat. And when I was playing, I'm just sitting there, I just remember starting up the game. I'm pretty sure there's a video on it on my YouTube channel where I'm just like, oh yeah, this is great, oh my gosh. And I'm just like it it just gets you in the mood where it's just like the whole time, like for the majority of the game, I think I was just I'm bouncing now just thinking of the music, but it's just like I was bouncing up and down just thinking of it to where I love listening to that theme song where I have the soundtrack downloaded on Spotify, and every once in a while I'm just like, yep, it's time for some Sayonara Wild Hearts. And I just love that opening song. Um, I also really like that game where it showed like my friends that are more technical about video game mechanics and setup that like, oh, DPayne actually knows what he's talking about in game design and theory when he like spends time into it, and it blew their minds because I'm normally the chaotic, crazy one. um, and so it's definitely like I find it funny how games we both loved is our number three choice, which honestly, it's I don't think it's we're ranking these and just like this is definitely better than the rest of them, but it's like they hold dear memories and just imagine the more memories they will hold as we go on to our next ones.
Imagine. Yeah, I haven't
I'm waiting.
played
Oh, go ahead.
Sayonara Wild Hearts. I saw it at PAX East, I believe, but
Oh
I did
yeah,
not own a Switch at the time, so I kind of just
it's on PC.
oh, I think at the time that I saw it, they were saying it was a Switch exclusive.
Might have been. I remember I was at PAX East because this was before we knew each other.
Hmm.
And so, man, it would be funny if we were both like mesmerized by looking at the trailer and we didn't even know who we were. Because I remember I just sat there and I just watched because they had the first level and I just watched it for like, I don't know, 5 minutes. I'm just like, wow.
It's a very pretty game where definitely play with sound on.
hmm uh, yeah. And it's forewarning everyone, it is very pink and bright. So it's cell shaded graphics, which I don't mind, but it's like, um, it when you first start, it's a little bit like overwhelming at times because you're just like, oh my goodness. So it's a great game. I suggest anyone to play it and give it a chance because it's like it. You can beat the whole thing in like 2 hours. 2 like or less.
Hmm.
No, it's the time of the soundtrack. I think it's about like 3 hours, or I don't know how long it is, but it's a very short game. But it's like there's high replay value. It's one of the few games that I've gone like back and redone levels because I enjoyed it, which is rare. Like my brain function is like I beat the game, I don't want to play it again.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's all I have to say.
Okay. So then for my number two leading into this, I decided to like I forgot about this game soundtrack, admittedly, and I was going through like different lists, and I was like, all right, give me some video game themes. Which unfortunately through Google they were like best original soundtrack for games,
Oh
and I was
yeah,
like,
it
I don't.
sucked.
Yeah, I was like, I don't need all this. I just want reminders of like themes for games that were really good that I liked.
Hmm.
And then I ended up upon this, and they were like, "Oh yeah, this one's so good," and I was like, "It is." Cuphead.
Oh yeah, that is a good one.
Yeah, because they
Good.
have the whole it. They wrote like a song very much within the time period they're going for, and then they just wrote it about being Cuphead and
Mugman, yeah.
Mugman, and it's adorable, and it's a very great setup to the game. For anyone that's not familiar with Cuphead, it's just uh, how would you explain?
It's Mega Man, but just a boss rush.
Yeah, it's just the boss part over and over again with very cute characters, very much in line with not quite Mickey Mouse. Who was before Mickey Mouse? I'm blanking on the cartoon that was before him.
Mortimer.
Mortimer. But no, but it's very much in like the classic cartoons kind of period, and everything's bouncy and fun and animated. So I think the theme song is just very much in line with it because it does almost feel like a theme song for a cartoon that you would catch at the time, where it's kind of jazzy, it's fun, it's upbeat, and it's telling the general story of introducing you to the characters that you're going to be running
Oswald.
into.
It was
Oswald,
Oz.
that's what it is. Oswald the rabbit? Is he a rabbit?
Think so. Funny thing, Mortimer the Mouse is actually a character before Disney as well.
Oh, is it?
um, let's see. I Mortimer Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. There we go. Yep.
Okay, yeah, so he was a rabbit. But yeah, so it's very much in tune with like that kind of animation style and I guess just that general era. But do not be
Mhm.
fooled by how cute and kind of fun the game looks. It's not easy. It's not an
Yeah,
easy one.
me and EOG beat that on stream. It's also where the very famous DPayne quote comes in. I like George because so for anyone who doesn't know who EOG Every Other Game is, I realize a lot of my friends are um, go at games completely different than I do, and he is very methodical and not. I don't think tactical. Like he is tactical minded, but he's just very much of like what does the most damage, very numbers oriented, and like what can complete this and get me the most stuff out to cause the most damage and hurt and best like way to combat a boss. And he was talking about that while doing that. And I'm like, yep, you have all that, very methodical, thinking it through. And then you got DPayne over here where it's just like, I like George. And it just it killed him. Like that comment. So that meme has
Lived on.
lived on past Cuphead and to other things where I sit there and I'm like explaining something and I'm like, guys, yeah, this is just like the I like charge argument for how I'm playing this game, where it's just give me the big damage single shot. I rather dodge and do pinpoint shots. But yes, this is a very good theme song. I just listened to the beginning of it and
And
my head,
you already remember it. Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, it's I do like it when a game fits in, like the theme song fits into the theme of the game, which that might be coming to one of my songs later. But
But yeah, no, Cuphead I think does a great way to introduce you into the vibe that they want you to feel. And they also it feels like the way that they recorded it also to give it more of that I don't want to say scratchy. I don't know the musical term for it.
yeah, it's got like the record fuzz.
Yeah. Where it sounds like you're not listening to it in something that's high quality recording. And it's
Yeah.
got that kind of like old timey ish vibe to it. So it's just
Hmm.
all of it. I'm just like, yeah, this makes sense. This
Hmm.
where if they gave me like a very high produced pop song, I'd be like, this is a good song, but like,
It wouldn't fit the
yeah, it
theme.
doesn't make sense.
It's also part of one of those games that came out around that time where we are waiting forever for um the DLC.
Is it out yet?
I don't think it's out. Let me
My
look
other
on Steam.
favorite thing about the little details that they pay attention to, the DLC, that they said it's what the delicious last course.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there it is. Is it out yet? I didn't think it came out because it's coming soon. It's not ready yet.
Hmm, interesting. But yeah, no, the I do really like the game. I like the art style. I had a lot of fun with it. Except it just reminds me that when it comes to memorizing mechanics of bosses, it's not something I grew up doing.
Hmm.
So it takes me a lot of deaths before I learn all the patterns that I should have memorized by then.
Yeah, it was one of those things like I because when I came to people, I was like, because I know I suggested to a few people that I thought would be funny to do is playing Cuphead. I'm like, let's do this together, and they're like, I don't know, like, and a lot of people are like, yeah, I don't know if I want to, and I would always just throw it out there, and EOG was one of the people I was like, we should do this, and he was like, okay.
So excited.
And then it kicked off one of the most not the longest because I think our me and EOG's co-stream happened after ours. No, I got like 2 or 3 co-stream scheduled co-streams that have been going on like ever since the beginning of 2020. So it's just like they never end. I like this. I don't have to plan out as much, but at the same time, it also had to I had to rethink of setting up the focus of my channel. So, which I'm not really broken up about. Series runs were more stressful than they look like. They were also very expensive. um, but yeah, that is a solid game. So wait, have you? I don't. I'm just trying to remember. You said you haven't finished it,
No, we
right?
have.
You have?
Yeah,
Okay. No, I couldn't.
we finished it on normal. We haven't gone back to try and bother with it on hard.
Oh yeah, heck with that.
I've had several friends, they're like, yeah, we beat the game. We're like, oh, okay, what'd you think of this boss? They're like, what boss? We're like, the final boss? They're like, oh, I can't go to that boss. I beat it on easy. We're like, oh, well,
The devil.
yeah.
I honestly think the devil is easier than the roulette man.
Yeah, the roulette guy, I was the one that had to roll the dice because I would always roll it. I figured out, I don't know how I figured it out, but I figured out how to time it so that I could roll it so
Mm-hmm.
that we never had to start over because that was miserable. You hit the dice and he's like, oh, back to the beginning. And it's like, no.
Oh, I forced it. So there's for people who haven't played Cuphead or don't know, I don't know. It's been out long enough, and it's the releasing story that we're spoiling right now. But it's just like the final boss in that game is not sorry the
Second to.
second to final boss who he's just sitting there. He's the big bad until you beat him and you realize there's a bigger bad, but he's
Mhm.
literally just next door. Uh, but he's his whole thing is that he brings the dice down that you have to parry attack, and it brings you to a mini boss that you have to fight, and then you go fight the mini boss, and you go from there and hope for the best. Well, um, I I did it more out of just laughing because it was just hilarious to do, where me and EOG would fight over to see who could hit the dice first, and I just kept hitting it um at first and messing it up, and like we would have to go back to the beginning, and I would just start like just just laughing like a crazy person. He's like, stop it, we want to win. But the other thing is what you need for that boss is just I'm very, very bad at parrying in any game because I'm really bad at timing things.
Mm-hmm.
I much rather do a battle of attrition and just wail on an enemy and just like whoever's health gives out first is that's who's making it through. And that's kind of just how I play games. I'm not very good at the finesse of parrying and all that. Um which you definitely need the parrying skills for this battle because he like shoots out cards along the bottom and you have to
Yeah.
parry it to get across. So what we just ended up doing was like saving our ultras and just doing mass amount of damage. And I'm like, I'm just letting you know, I'm going to die. So I'm going to contribute as much damage as I can do, and then we'll go from there. And like we finally beat it. And then when we faced the boss, like it was like we were able to finish it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely a real fun game that I enjoyed a lot, except the whole parry mechanic. So, but yeah, I think that game is definitely more enjoyable with a friend though.
Oh yeah, it's a very fun co-op game.
Hmm. It's one of those games where a lot of people like my mod. He's another person that likes to see me suffer in games, and it was very much he was like, "Hey, play this game," and I had a hard time with it. I bet you will, and it's just like the back of my mind was like, you do realize growing up, I played a lot of Mega Man and platformers, so platforming is like probably the one game type I feel confident in doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was like in 2 days I got all the way to the final boss, and then I just couldn't beat him, so I stopped. I'm like, I made my argument, and he's like, that wasn't as much fun as I was hoping, but it was still great to watch. So, yeah, Cuphead's definitely a fun game, and if you enjoy some of the older like style Mega Man games or just kind of old platformer games, yeah, worth checking out.
Definitely.
But yeah, the theme is a very good theme.
Very good thing.
Um, but yeah, this actually goes really well into my next theme.
Okay.
So we're going a little bit old school, and it's really funny that we mentioned Mega Man. Well, I mentioned it, but because that's where we're going for our next theme. So, Mega Man 2. I think Mega Man 2, out of all the Mega Man games, has probably the most iconic theme song. To where, so for once again, for people who don't know, I mentioned it a little bit earlier. Um, for the longest time, I did series runs on stream, which was I would choose a game series and I would try to get the earliest version that I could get and work my way up to the most recent.
Mm-hmm.
I did something a little bit different, which totally burned me out on doing series runs, which was I want to do every single Mega Man game. So that was Mega Man to Mega Man X to Mega Man Zero to Mega Man Legends. I think there was another Mega Man series in there. I did them all except for Battle Network because Battle Network has its own storyline and game mechanics, and it was just different from the rest. I also really like Mega Man Battle Network, so which that also has a very excellent theme, which I almost put on here, but I didn't. Um, but it was yeah, it was just different enough where I'm like, I want to do my own thing, which I still love that series. So in the future, I'm probably going to run through them at some point because they're fun. But the Mega Man 2, the more and more I would play through these games, I would try to find like remix versions of some of the songs. And the Mega Man 2 theme has the probably the most remixed, replayed metal versions out there. So it starts off because in the first Mega Man game, literally just started it and it just like there you go shoot the things. You can't do much. You can't even charge. You can't even slide in the first one. It's just like jump and shoot, man.
Okay.
Uh, which is a line that I stole from Ego Raptor. But anyway, yeah, you go through the level, you jump, shoot, and make it through, and hope for the best. And it's not the greatest, but I also cheated in how I beat the final boss because you can shoot which I an attack that I found called that I titled Death Ramen or Death Noodles because it just shot like noodles out of his gun, and when you paused it and unpaused it, it would reset the damage. And so, but it would still be on the screen. So you could just pause and unpause to shoot the final boss as it's just this long stream of noodles across the stream, and it would just reset the damage. And I'm like, the game was very broken, so I wasn't really all that broken up about doing that. So anyway, you do that, and then you get into the second one, and it just gives you like this pixel city based, so like city landscape, and it has like the 16-bit like kind of music where it's like boo doo 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 doo, and you're just sitting there, and it just kind of gives you the story. And then it's just like, oh man, here's all these things, and you're like, okay, this is cool. All I'm seeing is like this landscape, and like there's like kind of a building, and you kind of slowly start traveling up the building, and then all of a sudden it's just like the music starts to build faster, 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 and it's just like you get up to like the very top of the building where Mega Man's standing. It's just like does like the and I'm just like, yeah. And like I was listening to it, I'm like, oh man, I'm getting chills watching this thing because it's so cool. And like I was listening to it at work because I didn't want to work. But I was just like, I went and watched the opening thing. I'm just sitting here, I'm like, oh, this is good. This is real nice. And it's super simple. Like if you compare it to like the cinematic value of games now, you're like, this doesn't really hold a candle to the cinematic value.
Mhm.
But it's just like combined with the music, the graphics, and it might be the fact that I really do love playing Mega Man games, and I love Mega Man lore and all that garbage. I'm just like, oh, this is so cool, and it just comes up, and it's just you just see Mega Man standing there like a stinking hero just next to his title card on top of a skyscraper, just with the music going off, and you're like, yeah. So that one was definitely my second one. Is just Mega Man 2 is a really good game. And I with the legacy collections, definitely worth going back, and like if they're on sale, check them out. But at the same time, if you're not a fan of like platform shooty stuff,
It won't be, yeah, for you.
might not be as fun. But I enjoyed it and had a lot of fun. I kind of want to play Mega Man 2 now, but it's
Clicking on it.
but yeah, it's Mega Man. Mega Man for me was like definitely a series when I first started playing video games that has gone with me growing up. And so it's just I think my first one was Mega Man 8. I had no clue what was going on. I was terrible at it. And then Mega Man, there was the Mega Man X series, which I really liked. And then I was just really, really excited to go and do the themes. Actually, I think the little trailer thing I posted on my Twitter when I said I was going to go through them all was the Mega Man 2 theme song.
Mm.
So it's a real good song. Just listen to it. It's like not even like a minute long. It's like once you get to the top of the skyscraper and just listen for like 10-15 seconds, it's just that looped, but it's still like you're like it's just so fun. Like, it got me like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go shoot some robots.
Yeah, I'd bring it up, but with the OBS recording and stuff, I think it gets picked up in that. So I'm just like, I just have to remember to listen to it later. But no, it would be great if we I think it wouldn't be too much work if we just make up a little YouTube playlist of all the
Yeah.
different songs for things, and we can share that on Twitter for people to be like, "Hey, for anyone who isn't familiar with the songs we discussed, here ye go, enjoy."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I know I've probably mentioned to you, platformers are not very much my thing.
Yeah, I am very much a platform game. I love them.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
didn't
know.
really grow up on those. I grew up playing more sim games. Not to say like I grew up playing The Sims, which I did, but like I liked things like Zoo Tycoon, Monster Rancher. I get Pokemon. I guess is kind of a sim because you're simulating battle,
Eh,
but it's more that than anything mechanically heavy, though, right? Like,
yeah, it's it's different style things because I played a little bit of SimCity 2000.
Yeah, I did like SimCity 2000.
That was a lot of fun.
I was very bad
Speak
at it. One time aliens came around and a hurricane hit not too long afterwards, so I just quit that save.
I remember learning when it's just like, yeah, to actually get people, because like for the longest time I would just like, because it was on my school computers. I don't know how I got put on the school computers, but it was just like it was there, and so we played, and I remember building my city and everything. Like, this is cool, but I keep losing money and all this stuff. I'm not making anything to keep building. And then it was like, I looked over to my friend and I'm like, how are you getting people? And he's like, you have to build a road to the borders of your block.
So that people can drive
So
in.
people, yeah, so people can come in. And I was like, really? And so I did that and it was just like, oh, wow, this is cool.
This is like a whole
And
new game.
I'm like, yeah. And so I was like able to do things. And it was just, I don't know. I remember having a lot of fun with that. Also, just a quick side note about Sims. I was looking through Steam, I think last night or it was sometime this week. And I'm just sitting there and there's like games you might like. Um, the zoo one, the new Zoom one, I forget what it's called.
The one that I was playing on stream for a while.
Yep. And I immediately looked at it and was like, frogs.
No, not the frogs. Oh
Oh man.
no.
Who knew that from that point on that a friendship would be born that gets recorded once a week?
And also play TFT usually once a
Yes.
week when I'm around.
Hmm.
But okay, I'm trying to think of if I played any platformers growing up, and I can't think of any.
Yeah, it's
Like
honestly,
I was introduced to turn-based games before platformers, which sounds weird.
yeah, no, because like I know the reason why I didn't play a lot of, because my first console was the PS1,
That was mine.
and a lot of the turn-based systems that came out for that were like it was my parents very strict in what we got. Oh, at that time the big ones that came out was Final Fantasy,
Okay.
and the fact that like my parents, like if they turned it over and saw, actually hold on, I got a box right here, I can tell you what set them off. Let's see. Yep, there it is. Let me waddle back. Okay. So, of course, they put the dumb GameStop sticker right over it. Okay, so on here it says the reason why this is rated teen is cock mischief. Okay, they didn't have a problem with that. Mild animated violence. Okay, they didn't have a problem with that. Mild language. No.
No can has.
No. And so excuse me. So that was one of the things that like I couldn't, like my parents wouldn't let us play any Final Fantasy games because of language.
Mm-hmm.
Which the funny thing is, like looking back at it, like Baby DPayne had no clue what the language, like what
What it
it
meant.
was,
Yeah, no,
or
like
like
I didn't like for me, I didn't even play the Final Fantasy games. I think I've sent you a picture of a different
oh
JRPG
yeah,
that
yeah,
I
yeah,
ended up renting from like Blockbuster. And then I also Disgaea is what
hmm
I introduced me into the whole turn-based thing.
yeah, and but like I don't know why. Well, I don't know. If anything was suggestive, like for anything, like my parents wouldn't get that for me either. Like for us,
Yeah, yeah.
but like our first game, the first two games that we got that we had for it was the worst game on the PlayStation, Rascal. Um, it was a 3D platformer with tank controls where you had to jump around, and it was hot
Is
garbage.
that was
Like
that in our childhood video games?
I think so. I know I've mentioned it before, but it was a bad one, a real bad one. And then we had Rayman, which was an amazing one, which is a platformer.
Yeah.
And then the next game we got was Mega Man, which was a platformer. And then the ones that I'm just remembering was Spyro the Dragon and Crash Bandicoot, both 3D platformers. Um, and so a lot of games that I played growing up were platformers, and I really like them. And so um, it's also why, like, I think now I'm much more comfortable playing a like a game like Hollow Knight, and which is a platformer in its essence. And I don't know. I got to open up my Steam to find out what other games I was playing because I can't remember. Like other platformers, like I haven't been playing a lot of platformers lately, but it's still like a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, Hollow Knight is on there. It's why I also didn't really enjoy Hades too much. I'm pretty sure if Hades was more of like a platformer style game, I would love that game. Like I love everything about it, but I just don't like how it controls. So I don't know. BioShock. That was at least the first two were kind of platformy esque.
Bioshock?
Yeah, like there was platforming.
Uh,
Not a lot, but
yeah, I
there's
was gonna
still.
say I played Bioshock, and I remember I consider it more an FPS.
Oh yeah, it's definitely more of a shooter, but there's still
Okay.
platforming segments. Um, yeah, I don't know. Now I'm distracted looking through my list. There was a one of my favorite RPGs that I played. I found out got an HD remaster, and for the longest time it was just the second one. And then I recently found out that the first one got a remaster, and they're both on Steam. And I bought them to play in the future, but it's just like I told a few of my friends, and they're like, "This keeps coming up. Why does it keep coming up?" We literally answered this question. I was like, "It's probably from me because I honestly keep forgetting I ask it, but I own it, so now the question will never come up again." Uh,
Yeah, that reminds
so
me. I have so Disgaea. I played on PS1 at first, and then I played it on my PS2 to death, and I bought it on PC because I saw they did a port to PC on Steam, and then I was on my Switch and I saw on the Switch there's a Disgaea 1 HD remaster, so I bought it again, and although I've bought it on PC and Switch, I haven't gone back to play it yet because I keep playing other games.
and Grandia is the name of the game I'm thinking of, and
Oh
it's
yeah,
like
I want to say Strider and his family. That's up there in their favorite JRPG.
yeah, I I don't know. I just didn't. I enjoy that a whole lot, and so, but yeah, grew up playing platformers. Trying to think. Yeah, it was mainly platformer style games. It was also because like my parents would like limit the amount of time we played on it. So
You could
like
get through a platformer in a sitting, yeah.
yeah, we could get through or at least make progression.
Mhm.
Like in RPG, like they would limit our time because it wasn't just me playing. It was like which my one friend like he would play a lot of Final Fantasy games, and honestly, it would just be him playing or his sister. But his sister normally just played the N64 while he would play a lot of the PlayStation games.
Mhm.
Me, we had to share between three brothers, one console, one TV.
Yeah.
And so it was just like playing Rayman or Mega Man and stuff like that, or Crash Bandicoot was much more easier to do.
Fit into the time that you had, yeah.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
which is why now I'm going and working my way through them all. So, but yep. But that's all I have to say about Mega Man 2.
Okay. So then I'll go ahead and jump into my number 1. So you said that this was a throwback for you. I think I think this is technically older. And I don't know the name of the song. I don't know. Well, I guess I didn't really mention the names of any of the other themes. I just said what game it's from. Um, DPayne, did you own a Game Boy? Not a Game Boy
Mm,
Color, not a Game Boy Advance, a Game Boy.
I didn't, but I did play it at other people's houses.
Okay, let me see if you can guess. Can you guess what my favorite Game Boy original game is? I don't
Hmm.
know if I've mentioned it before.
The game that comes up the most that I can think of is Kirby.
I didn't play regular Kirby. I played a lot of Kirby Pinball.
Can I bring up a Game Boy list and see if I can
Yeah, go
find it?
for it. This game is even older than original Game Boy though, but I think the song is actually, I guess here's a hint. I think this song might be on the arcade cabinet versions. Okay, I'm gonna keep throwing it back, huh?
Oh wait, is it Tetris?
Yes.
I was like,
Tetris is probably my
I
most played game on the original Game Boy. And when we mentioned video game themes, I immediately got the I think one article called it Russian song question mark.
it is like it does. That theme is a Russian song.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh,
When I first heard of this topic, I immediately thought of Tetris. I immediately thought of that song. Just I think it's because of just how many hours I poured into that game. And it's
mhm.
just I mean, I said my other ones were very fitting for the game. I don't know that this is very fitting for Tetris because Tetris doesn't have a theme. Tetris is just
Iconic.
yeah, it's just iconic in itself.
Um, but yeah, the
Mhm.
yeah, that's it is a Russian song. Let me, I'll look it up real
Mhm.
quick. Well, I don't know if you had more to say about it.
I mean, nothing else to really say on it because I remember there being other options for soundtracks on the Game Boy original that you could swap between. And occasionally I would swap between the songs, but if I really wanted to just sit and play Tetris, I would always change it back into that original Russian question mark song. Whenever you find the actual title of the song, then I'll stop calling it the Russian song.
I think I found it. I'm listening to it. Okay, not. I gotta wait for an ad to finish. Um, let's skip this ad and play me this song. Yeah, it's a Russian folk song called Korobushka.
Okay.
It's a lot slower.
So Tetris remixed it for its game.
Yeah. Oh, they also couldn't.
I mean,
Oh,
like,
there you go. It's speeding up now. There
okay,
you
it's
go.
it's picking up. I mean, like, I know, like, musically they'd have to change it around to have it play through for the game, but I didn't know
Yeah.
if it was like an exact cover or they did some changes to it.
It's pretty much it. But at that point, I mean, at that time period, copyright and video games weren't really all that like they had an audience, but they weren't like
Well, I don't think you can claim copyright on a folk song either,
well, you could claim copyright on anything if you believe
if
hard
you
enough.
believe hard enough. Whoever decides to own the song that week.
Yeah. Like the Happy Birthday song was copyrighted until like a couple of years ago, and that's why restaurants and
Oh, came up with their own.
yeah, came up with their own songs because it was literally copyrighted.
I thought it
That's
was just
why
because they wanted to seem cool.
no, it was literally a copyright issue.
Hmm.
That's why they don't play the Happy Birthday song in any TV shows. And not the like today's your birthday, not that one, but it's um happy birthday to you. That one. It's wow, that's a lot less exciting to sing. Let's sing the other one that I sang. Just like I don't know. Let's not get Metallica. So I'm gonna stop singing the song.
Yeah, but like I just if I hear any part of that song, I automatically think Tetris. If I think of Tetris, I automatically think of that song. So the two are just 100% intertwined for me, and I also just enjoy listening to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just very fun.
It fits the theme, especially as it builds.
That's true because I remember I played the game so much, you know, in the days before the internet, where you had to sit and play the same games over and over again, especially on road trips, which my family took quite a bit of road trips. So, you know, no
Mm-hmm.
consoles for me on the road trip, but I got to a point where I used to start Tetris at level 9. So when the music would pick up, I'd be like sweating in the car, and they'd be like, "Hey, Hop, how are you doing back there?" I'm like, "Ugh."
Just like your mom is like, I think our daughter is getting car sick, and you're like, gotta get the
Give me the long skinny piece. Give me the long skinny
thing.
piece.
Honey, you okay? I don't know what honey would be in in oh wow, my brain totally
Your
blank.
brain
All I
just
can think,
farted.
my brain was just thinking too big. But I'm like, oh, I know we mentioned what language it is, but my brain has completely forgot what the language was.
Tagalog.
Yeah. What's honey in Tagalog?
Usually you would call him child. That'd be like anak. I know I
A
don't have a good
nuck?
accent. I don't have a good accent for it.
Oh, mine will be worse, but enough.
It's basically child is what they would say. Like, hey child, are you okay? But
That'd be good.
I will
Yeah.
also say that there wasn't like it was mainly English in my household.
Okay.
They would just be
Yeah.
like, "Hey, you, what's going on?"
You don't know. So, yeah, our family on car trips. I don't know. They wouldn't call them road trips, but it's just like it's literally what they were, traveling to go see family I never heard of.
Yeah, and
Um,
being in the car for hours.
yeah, they would get a TV for the car, and we would just watch TV. And then once we got older, we got um Game Boy Advances, but we would have to buy them.
I I had like a hand-me-down Game Boy from my older siblings, but I know I liked reading a lot as a kid, but can't read in a car. So Game Boy was my
That's tough.
yeah, Game Boy was my was my go-to.
Yeah, we I played a lot of Mega Man games in the car. So yeah, road trips, they great.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to add on to Tetris.
Yeah,
I think
it's
it's just
like
one of those like if you've played Tetris, you know the song immediately. If you don't have much experience with Tetris, then it kind of just is like cool, I
is there
guess, because the song on its own doesn't stand out.
there's a lot of remixes of it though,
Yeah, because they've released Tetris again.
a
Almost.
million
Yeah.
times. What has more releases? That or Madden? Probably Tetris.
I was gonna say, I feel like Call of Duty would be up there too, wouldn't it? Because for a while they were
Yeah.
doing like two a year.
Well, no, they did one a year, but it's two different companies
I thought
that
there was
make.
one. There was. I thought in college I remember being upset because I used to play a lot of Call of Duty, and in college I thought there was a year where both the company. I thought there's three companies.
Never mind. I don't keep up with the series.
Treyarch,
Treyarch,
something Hammer, and Infinity Ward.
yeah, Infinity Ward, I think made the good ones, which I think a lot of people, at least from what I heard, a lot of people liked.
Mm-hmm. I thought there was one year that like two of them came out within like 6 to 8 months of each other, and being a college kid, you're like, I can't buy both.
I didn't buy any. I never got into that. I was much more. I played a lot more RPGs, like where I think I mentioned on a different podcast episode where I played. Instead of going and hanging out and making friends in college, I decided to go and play Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah, to each
And
their own. No, but Call of Duty for me, I still play it now, but it's not for
mhm,
me to play Call of Duty. It's that I have friends that are playing it, so it's a means for spending time together.
yeah, uh, pretty true. It's I don't know. I also remember playing Call of Duty, and I got yelled at by my parents because I yelled too much.
That's also makes sense.
So, like, I remember my brother and his girlfriend were because I was living in the in-law suite, and his bedroom was above mine, or like above where the in-law suite was, and he they would be playing Call of Duty, and I was like, "Oh, I'll play with you guys." So I picked it up on the PS3, and it was just like they could just be like, "Oh my gosh!" just screaming, and then they're like, and they're just like, we would just be cracking up. That was before I did any like streaming or anything.
Hmm.
I probably would have, thinking about it, probably would have grown an audience better if I streamed that. I wouldn't be good at the game, but oh my goodness, people would probably like enjoy the reactions. But now I have no desire to play them.
That's fine. Yeah, so what's your number one theme song?
All right. So this one was my number one immediately when we were thinking about it because once again, going back to my series runs, this song inspired me to play this whole series because I just wanted to hear this song for in the one game. And it is a Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater.
I know a lot of people that like these games in their music. I haven't played any Metal Gear games.
Yeah, it's I don't know. After playing them, I could see why people liked them, but I have no desire to go through them again. Well, That's not true. I would like to play Snake Eater again just to hear the Snake Eater song.
Hmm.
But I it's one of those things like I have no connection with this series, but I really like this song. And so let's play this game series. Um and it was fun. And it's one of those things that solidified in my mind. I'm terrible at stealth in games and out. So I most of my gameplay wasn't stealth based. It was more like I'm going to go up and punch and shoot you until I can go hide in the locker. But it's which got people mad. I'm like, this is literally the first time I'm playing it. Shut up. But it's really funny that I like this song as much as I do. So Snake Eater is the third game, well, or the like fifth or whatever, depending on how you count the dumb series. But it's the earliest game in the series, to my
Okay.
knowledge. And it's just in that time where Kojima, I think, was given a lot more kind of freedom and was kind of like, this guy can't do no wrong. And which the game is really good and kind of helped with that whole synopsis of it. Um, but it was excuse me, the game was very much like uh Bond-esque, where like the snake have you heard the Snake Eater theme song?
I don't believe so.
Okay, it's very much like that Skyfall song for the
Oh,
Bond
the
movie.
newer one. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of very much like based like that, where it's just like it's got the horns, and then it's got the female vocalist coming in. It's just like I don't remember the words to it now. Like I played that song so much and listened to it so much while playing that series that I used to know the songs, but it's just it just like builds all the way up to it. It's like it's all in a dream, Snake Eater, and it's just like I'm like, yeah, I suck at this game, but it's there's a lot of memorable times with that. Um, but yeah, that game, that the whole game kind of gave like this Bond-esque uh theme to it. And it's really funny how like the whole Metal Gear Solid theme is like, hey, nukes and war are bad, so go shoot people to stop it.
Hmm.
um and it's just, I don't know, it always cracks me up where just seeing people who love that game and then it's just like kind of stuff they say. It's like, yeah, you really missed the point of that game, didn't you there, buddy?
You forgot the message, huh?
Yeah, and it's like I like shooting people and like the giant robot thing. It's like you realize the whole thing is like no. And guess what? Godzilla is also the same theme. Like no, but but yeah, it's one of those things. Like I'm not a big fan of Bond movies or anything, but I do like some of the Bond music because I do like hearing vocalists like just belt it out and everything. And I'm like, yeah, I like that. I'm not gonna watch the movie, but I like that.
Oh yeah, no, they have very good like expressive singers for all of the Bond themes. But here's a fun story. So my mom, in moving out, she like moved into a new place and she was trying to get rid of a whole bunch of stuff that she was like, this isn't mine. I don't know what to do with this. Usually ends up falling onto me because I think she just assumed because I was the last one to like live in the house with her that it must be mine if it's left over. And she gave me this bag of VHS tapes, and I was just like, "What are these?" And she's like, "I'm pretty sure they're yours." So the top layer, it's like, "All right, these are like Disney movies, but unfortunately the cases are all empty, so I don't know what I'm gonna do with these." I was like, "Oh, nice, Swan Princess. Oh no, it's empty. Oh, nice, Pocahontas. Ah, it's empty too." And underneath that layer, bunch of Bond movies, and I was like, "Oh, these are not mine." And like I was looking at the titles, I was like, "I don't want to read any of these titles. How did these get made into movies?"
Yeah, I can think of one because I'm like, how did this one get titled?
Yeah, so like I've never been interested in Bond. Apparently someone in my family was, but it was not me.
Mhm. Yeah, I remember back when I got home from college, like all my friends were like, this is when I got uninvited from watching movies with my friends. But it was just like they were like, yeah, we're watching all the Bond movies, and I'm like, I'm not interested in Bond. And then they were like, one of the days, like, yeah, we're taking a break, we're watching the Bourne movies, and we're watching this one. And I got invited over, and then I was never invited back because I was sitting there and I'm like, I don't know if you watch. I think it's like Born Legacy. I think it is.
I
It's the
only
one.
know of the Bourne movies. I haven't watched them myself.
All right. So there's, and the one that isn't Matt Damon. Uh, it's the guy from Avengers, Hawkeye, Jeremy Renner.
Okay.
Um, there's like a tracker that is like in his body, and it's just like kind of near his butt. And he's like, "Oh man, I know how I'm gonna stop this," and just like duct tapes a metal plate to his butt,
Hmm.
and it's like that
Hmm.
stops the signal.
Hmm.
And I'm sitting there, I'm like, the, "There's other exits besides your butt." And then there was like we kept watching it, and I'm like, that's an editing it like mistake right there. Like that's not a drone soundtrack. And they're like, wait, what? And they like went and rewound, and they're like, that's a full airplane. And so like, and then that was like the whole movie, and everyone was like, can you stop? And I'm like, no. And then I wasn't invited back.
That's funny.
But they're still my friends today. They're just like,
No
we
movie
just got,
time.
they're like, if we're gonna watch a movie DPayne, we just got to realize he's probably gonna talk through the whole thing because he can't help it. Um, so so yeah, but yeah, I think I watched like one Bond movie, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. But yeah, um, it is a very iconic song, and fits the whole. It fits the theme, which and like all the ones that kind of that we've mentioned. Tetris, yeah, Tetris with the theme as well as it speeds up, but it's just like, yeah, all the songs that we chose fit the theme of said song and the game, and that's what we like and what we remember.
Yeah, you make different connections with different games. In the same way, like when you watch things, you have like specific scenes that you remember more than anything else. Because I know you mentioned that you played the game because of the theme song, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Y-
I played the whole series because of the theme song.
yeah, I was gonna say because I know I've watched anime based on theme songs too, so like I understand that completely.
Yeah. Well, there's a game. Well, I don't know where we're at. Do we want to do our quick like?
We could probably just sneak in our little runner-ups before we do an outro.
Yeah, like there. I have a few. Um, let's see. I have three, and it's just mainly just like these are really cool, and I liked them. So, but I don't know. Well, you went first. So what's yours?
Oh, I only have one that I could think of to put in like a little runner-up thing. Um, the Katamari theme songs.
Oh, I didn't even think of that because well, I also never played them.
Okay,
So
I played one of them that was on 360. I forget the exact name of it because I know they all have like subtitles. But something about
mhm.
Katamari, their little pixelated, squeaky, pop, fast-paced music is just
Mhm.
it's
Da,
fun.
da, 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 da,
Yeah.
da, na, 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 na,
It's
na, na.
fun and it is good at fitting the theme of just pure chaos that is the game. I remember watching I had never been introduced to a Katamari game, and Strider was like, "Oh, this should be fun for us to play together." And it's not a shooter, so it's not stressful, and it's not a heavy puzzle, so we won't be like, you know, thinking too hard. So we go in, and the intro, I was like, "This is a fever dream."
Is Strider not a big FPS player?
No, no, he loves FPS, but at the time, basically the only games we were playing together were all FPS.
Okay,
So we
a
just wanted,
little bit of variety.
yeah, yeah, something where we don't have to sit there and be like, oh no, he got me again. Like something where we could just sit and just quietly play it together. But I
Mhm.
just remember the intro, and it was just very much. I thought I was like, these visuals make me feel like I've done something, and I know I've never done anything, but this intro is making me question if I'm okay in the mind right now.
Oh man, it is. It's one of those games I think I would like to play on stream at one point. I remember watching another friend, the only other person besides that follows me on TikTok. You know, I don't do anything on there. Noplahoma, friend from the Mixers. I think I watched her play it a little bit.
hmm
Actually, no, wait, I did play a little bit of Katamari. It wasn't Damashi, but it was the phone port.
Oh, I didn't know there was a phone port.
Oh, it was a real bad time.
Oh.
I hurt my thumbs. That's also how I originally beat Mega Man 3, 2 and 3 on the phone.
Wow.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time in the bathroom to get out of work.
But
Um,
yeah.
yeah, that is a good one. Okay, so I'm just gonna go through mine real quick. I'll leave the one that I think that well, I know that you have a connection with this game, so I'll leave that one for last. The first two that I feel like um we can just run through real quick. Super Mario Odyssey Jump Up Superstar, the jazz theme for that, I really liked, mainly because it was just so different. That was another song that like I'm like I kind of want to play this game just to hear the song more. Um, and yeah, Super Mario Odyssey, it was a fun time. Like I think it's the only Mario game I beat. So, but I really do enjoy playing that song or listening to that song, and then when you get to the level that it plays that song, I love it when games play music that like fit the theme of a level. Like I know
Oh yeah, they change it for the level.
well not change it for the level, but it's just like the song like elevates like what's going on in there. Like I know I mentioned this a few times on stream, but it's like one of my favorite gaming moments with music is Saints Row the Third, where like I don't know any. Okay, I know like three wow Kanye West songs,
Hmm.
and the song Power. I only know this because of Saints Row the Third, and so you jump out of a plane, you're diving down to land on top of a building, while like the intro of the song is playing, and it's just like you're going, and then literally as soon as you can get control of your character, and like you can control your character as he's skydiving, he or she is skydiving, and then as soon as you land onto the top of the skyscraper and begin shooting people, the lyrics just goes, and you're just like, I feel so cool. And then as soon as you die, it's like, yep, no more Kanye West song for you. Like back to generic shooting music, and it's like this is a lot less cool. But like the whole the whole song is made so that way you can clear out that whole level while the song is playing.
Hmm.
And so it's stuff like that I really like. And Super Mario Odyssey does that with their theme song in one of the levels, and it was like I think one of the parts, if you're able to time it right and do it well, it's just like when it says jump up in the sky, and it's just like you literally jump off a platform and like just collect a whole bunch of coins running through, and you're like, I feel so cool. I'm matching the music. Um, the other two, which were my original runner-ups, was the Kingdom Hearts Simple and Clean song,
I
as
thought
well
about
as
putting that, yeah, but
the title, the menu selection kind of. They're
hmm.
both really good songs. Like I think Kingdom Hearts was one of the first games I remember being like advertised on TV. Like there was ones in there, but like that's like the one that my brain remembers the most. And I remember making fun of it because Sora had like this purple aura on him, and I didn't know anything about him. I was like, he's stinky. but but yeah, I remember that song, and I remember singing that song tons and tons and tons all the time. I think Sanctuary is the second one. Um, but yeah, that was another one. And then the last one, which I will admit, I didn't play this song. Sorry, I didn't play this game a lot, but I know you have. And I know that I really do like the theme song for this because it definitely fits the vibe, the whole aesthetic they're going for, and it's the Animal Crossing, whatever the island one is called. I forget what the
The
new
new
one's called.
one, New
Yeah,
Horizons.
New Horizons. The
Yeah.
da, 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 da.
Animal Crossing does have very fun music.
Mm-hmm. I didn't realize one of the TikTok songs, I forget which one it is an Animal Crossing one.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of people will use that in like the Wii Shop music to just play in the
Mm-hmm.
background.
Oh man, I have a video on my YouTube that is the Wii theme. Well, I don't know what it is, but I failed at doing a Spyro the Dragon flying level, and I themed it all up to match the Wii song. That took way too long to do, but I liked how it turned out. and I think it's a video that no one's seen.
Aw.
Actually, I think I never remember a few people laughed at when I sent it up there, but yep, that's one of the ones I'm proud of, and I have no clue where it is on my channel anymore.
Everything getting lost. Okay, it
I could
exists on
probably
the
find it.
internet. It'll be
Yeah,
findable again.
yeah, I'm pretty sure I could find it like a couple seconds. I just typed in Spyro. Um, but yeah, but no, it was one of those songs that I'm like, I just remember like the whole vibe of it. I'm like, I know I'm not gonna play Animal Crossing to get my money's worth out of it, but it's still a good song.
Yeah, yeah, they did a very good job with it because it goes well with the way that everything is, I guess, technically voice acted, where everything's got like um, it's not beeps, it's like doots
Yeah,
with how the characters talk.
yeah.
I
That's how
know
I'm gonna say
people.
all. Oh, go ahead.
I think I saw that people theorize that the way they do the speech is like they take out certain syllables and then play it at like double speed. Because like I thought I was losing my mind because at first I was like, I think I heard a word in there, and then when someone said that, I was like, okay, I can see that. Where if the word is short enough, it sounds like the word sometimes.
This seems like so much work.
Hey, it's less work than coming up with a brand new language like The Sims, right?
The Sims language is like There's no way that gibberish actually means anything.
I've seen people say that they know how to speak Sims gibberish.
So do I. Gabagoosh gabadaba. I don't know. Now I'm remembering a video I watched where they're like, it's the Katy Perry expansion for The Sims,
Hmm.
and he's one of the guys in there. He's actually a Twitch streamer now, Bruce Green. He used to be part of Funhouse. He's like, they were playing. I don't remember how they came up with The Sims, and one of the people in the group was like, "Yeah, that Katy Perry one, they got her to sing it in Sim words," and he's like, "No, there's no way they did that. They just randomly put it up there, and then they brought up a video, and he's just like, what?" He was just like, he's like, "I hate this." And then he started singing it.
Fantastic.
but but yeah, Bruce Green he is a funny man to watch. But yeah, that's all I had written down. There's tons and tons of other theme songs that are out there, but
Yeah, a lot of
um
the websites that I saw where they recommended theme songs were for a lot of games I hadn't played, and I was like, thanks for reminding me that I'm uncultured.
there was that, or like some of them that I would fall onto. I was like, that is literally not the theme song.
Oh yeah, it's
Like
just a good song from the game.
this was a hard one to research, to look up stuff, because it's like I like researching anyway, just to like jog my memory. It was like, because like I I'll forget.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, let's get the brain moving and just see if I can find and remember some of the other ones. And yeah, sometimes have been like, this soundtrack. I'm like, that's literally not what I typed. Why are you giving me a whole soundtrack? But I did look through it to see if I could find one, um, to see if it would remind me. Like The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time has a good one too. It was like doo 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 doo, but it's not played anywhere else. To my knowledge, it's just in that opening thing. It's just like, this is a nice peaceful thing where everyone's gonna die. Um, so yeah, that's the cast.
We did it. So,
Huzzah!
so again, just for reminders, when this is released, we'll have started off the charity stream, or not charity
Mhm.
stream, charity event, running for the whole last week of February, so that you guys can check in the description if you'd like to donate directly, or you can always come in and check out our streams when we are live, so you can donate while we're doing something, because we do have. Oh, I think I forgot to mention, if you show up on Tuesday for Teamfight Tactics
Oh,
Tuesday, we
yes.
do have special things we'll do as donations come in.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that, if you want to see us suffer any more than we usually do.
Oh man, I'm actually glad we're doing that, because I didn't hit gold. So I got real close, and then the game's like, nope.
I still haven't gotten back on to see if I can get to plat, so you've got time. And then, yeah, and then We'll have our goals in our discords if you'd like to see what special things will come of us being able to raise the money. I'm sure we'll make announcements in the upcoming recorded episodes of the podcast to inform you guys where we are with it, where things ended, and what to expect from us.
Yep. And I'm just gonna give like a bit of a warning, like for anyone that's like, man, next week we're gonna get exact numbers. No, like we won't have the exact numbers, but we'll know if we hit the goal by that point or if we're close.
Yeah, we'll definitely know if we're at least close. And then, yeah, again, if you do, oh yeah, thank you for listening this far.
Yeah.
And if you do enjoy our podcast to help us out, we would greatly appreciate any kind of ratings, reviews that you can give to us. If it's not on iTunes, we'll have trouble finding it, so you can send us any kind of screenshots to twitter.com/pointlessdisco. We'll definitely be able to see it there. We should have open messaging on there for anyone to reach out to us. Also, you'll also get shout outs with that, or if you interact with us on our Twitter. And we have another poll coming up, yes, that you get to roll for.
I just did. I'm real excited for this one.
All right, so it'll be in the poll, it'll be Disney villains versus
Socks.
I forgot that we put socks on there.
Socks was the literal first one we put on this list.
We even have a helper article to help us tell the difference between socks.
Oh yeah. I think this one might have to be a tier list if we do it. I don't know. Actually, no. I have very strong opinions about socks.
Oh, I don't. So this should be interesting. Maybe I'll realize I'll have strong opinions.
I have strong opinions as much as a strong opinion I could have about a clothing article. But there's certain socks that DPayne won't wear because he hates them.
So yeah, if you want to see us talk about socks, since DPayne seems very fired up about it, make sure to vote in our poll, which will be ending the Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? We let it
Wednesday. Yeah, it's the Wednesday. It's the day that I'm always like, oh, is this? Oh, yeah, ooh, because like I caught it, like I finished like doing something, and I looked over and I'm like, wait a second, it's got 5 minutes left. It didn't change the outcome, but it's just like, oh. So I should like really start putting like a reminder in my calendar, like, yo, poll ends in like an hour. Go repost it. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
Actually, I probably could schedule that.
Oh.
So that way I don't have to forget.
Imagine.
Anyway.
Technology
is stupid. So yeah. We're gonna be talking about socks. Oh man. I'm glad that we don't have to look at that one at the top of the list. Now we can look at this other one. And paste. There we go. Oh, I forgot to mark this. This is at 2. There we go. So yeah, that will be up on the Discord, on the Twitter, quite shortly after we are done recording this. So yeah. Yeah, feel free if you want, share the podcast. I'll admit I'm pretty sure Hop said this. I was just more in awe. Like I was doing a good old YouTube reaction thing, and then I realized my camera isn't on. But yeah, it's yeah. If you guys can give a review because it helps us reach more people in the podcast, or just share it on the social medias or to your friends, enemies, and I don't know, share it to your parents. I don't know. I don't think we say anything that would really get a parent mad, unless they really like Skyrim.
Or if they don't like being called boomers.
Have we done that?
I feel like you've used boomer every once in a while.
Probably. There's, once again, guys, we're at like what, 46 episodes?
Okay, oh yeah, 44? Another thing we could ask the people, if you have suggestions for what we should do for a 1-year episode.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't have any ideas right now.
I'm pretty sure we think about it more than ever. We might come up with something.
That's fair.
That is close. That's weird.
Yep.
Her baby's 1 year old.
Yeah.
Get out of the house.
I heard one person, when someone resubbed for 9 months, they were like, oh, it's a Twitch baby. Now I can't stop saying it.
Oh yeah.
You're a Twitch baby.
I think I heard someone say that before, and I was like, oh, cool. I think someone said that to me, and I'm like, okay. Like, well, that's out there now. I can't wait to ruin this in another month. That also goes back to one of my original emote ideas that I thought would have been hilarious for subs. I think I might have mentioned this to you or not, but I thought it would be funny to make my sub badges fetuses, and then it became a baby at 9 months. But I couldn't, in good conscience, commission anyone to make that.
What are you looking for? So
So I just thought it would be hilarious.
that's funny. Yeah, it is.
The other thing is, I don't know which would be okay with that. It's like I didn't want to spend a whole bunch of money and have it not work.
That's true. Spend all that money and Twitch is like, you're suspended until you get rid of these.
I don't know. I might make it on live stream fails.
Maybe.
That's how you get big. So yeah. I think that's it. Is there anything else we want to say about anything? Okay. Yeah, bye.